Blame yourself if I don't love you, okay? Hello everybody, welcome to the show. Please hit the subscribe button and give this episode a thumbs up in the midst of a conflict over the family's Coyote past. Land which is split into 4 plots. Sister Wiv star Kody Brown seems to be feeling quite alone these days now. It's time to discuss why his villain act might not even be an act. Kody has reached a new level of isolation. Since losing his son Garrison Brown, and 3 of his wives' fans portray him as a villain while his ex-wives and some of his elder children mock him, there can be a serious negative aspect to reality. Stardom, there is unending judgment and a loss of privacy, as evidenced by his words and deeds. Kody obviously doesn't feel like a villain at all, but the world continues to tell him that he is a nasty person. Like all men, Kody is a man. The problem is that everyone in the world can see his highs and lows. He is in a peculiar and awkward situation because he multiplied his love with 4 spouses instead of the customary one. He is no longer the same person after losing his polygamous status and his cherished son. But regardless of how experience softens and molds him, he still receives criticism. Kody, who is frequently irritable and unwell, may feel that he doesn't know how to be himself and become angry at people who criticize him. Kody needs to communicate whether or not people appreciated. Kody should be allowed to be himself and tell the truth. As a mother of a son, I am aware that males need to express their feelings, and they have many. Despite advancements, there are moments when it seems like society expects males to suppress and swallow their suffering. Attempting to be strong might make men feel unappreciated and ignored. They would want for a different situation, one in which they could display vulnerability without coming across as weak. Being a public figure can be quite difficult for Kody. Is it possible for someone to adapt to this type of exposure? People just don't understand what it's like unless they have walked a mile in Kody's shoes. To understand this level of celebrity, one must experience it. Kody is seen walking with Robyn in the video above, which was captured from behind by a pumpkin on TikTok. Every step he makes is being recorded by cameras. He may suppress his pain as a result of this intense focus on his life, but doing so can be detrimental and even encourage a victim mentality that is not an act. It might be real. Kody may truly feel like an outsider after receiving so much criticism from his own family and supporters. Even going to a pub or shopping center will result in his being ridiculed on social media. People who have a victim mentality take things personally, asking themselves, what did I do to deserve this? This victim mentality is generally brought on by trauma. According to WebMD, as a result of processing so much, the person's energy becomes more negative, but they refuse to take responsibility for their actions, which can keep them from making wise choices like accepting complete responsibility. Is it any surprise that Kody makes an effort to give his perspective, to share his own perspective on his failed relationships and feuds in order to restore equilibrium? No, of course not, because people have been so cruel. Kody can feel unfairly treated. At least when he's not with Robyn Brown, he might feel alienated from his own family. Kody could think he is incapable of winning. He might be depressed. Kody can descend into silent despair if he doesn't communicate his feelings to others. But whatever he says is ripped apart when he expresses his emotions. Many repressed feelings of despair and rage, as well as sporadic outbursts, might result from this catch-22. Would any of us change if we were subjected to such severe criticism? I don't think so. As shown in the above footage, Kody talked about feeling persecuted for liking Robyn, with whom he occasionally struck turbulence. He stated in a different Sister Wiv scene, I am only guilty of not falling madly in love with their mothers. When he discussed his problems with children from other moms, he might have been playing the victim. Kody believes that his preference for Robyn is the reason he is being punished. He stated, "In order to punish me for a crime I did not commit, they are deliberately excluding me from their life." Fans ridiculed Kody on an earlier Instagram. His victim complex must be exacerbated by their harsh evaluations of his character. Without holding back, one fan essentially told he added this post and comment before to the death of his son. The watcher of Sister Wiv stated, "If you keep blaming other people for your family's dissolution, you will experience extreme loneliness." What can calm Kody's agitated heart? Robyn is capable, but it's not always sufficient. There are a lot of emotions and a lot of tension. Kody had high hopes for his future and for Coyote. He believes that everyone turned against him because he fell in love with Robyn, which is why he became an outsider. Is there any truth to what he has to say? Perhaps people should pay attention. Should he be punished indefinitely for having a that was too intense for him to conceal or control? Is it bad to love Robyn? No, of course not. For a brief moment, picture yourself being denigrated by everyone. Every action and statement you make is scrutinized and examined. You're never good enough at anything. Kody is at that location, and he is unable to effectively block out the noise. Fame is intense scrutiny and glaring lights. It can occasionally be pain. Everyone watched as Kody's family disintegrated. He is currently marginalized and attempting to heal his ties with his ex-partners. He must simultaneously maintain Robyn's satisfaction, since she referred to her and Kody's children with her as the core family. He couldn't truly enjoy his love for Robyn even after the ex-partners had moved on. Kody's normally all light up around her. It's real love. He has to consider other people's feelings all the time, though, because he had children with the women who left. He fumbles occasionally. He might want to run away from all that pressure, but growing up is a must. He wants his quarreling kids to come to him, but he could discover that the only way to turn his life around is to go to them. He is and always will be their father. He is essential to their lives. Kody appeared to have everything worked out at one point. He seemed to want it that way even when his ex-partners left him. Things appeared to be going well in his new monogamous life. With Robyn, Garrison's death was a sad incident that nobody could have predicted. Kody must be in a lot of grief because they were separated when he passed away. These things can haunt a person, and anyone in that circumstance may struggle to deal with their memories and emotions because so much was left unsaid, missing the person, feeling guilty, and being afraid. Nevertheless, the world continues to point out Kody's mistakes in life. They are unabated, not often acknowledged, but it should be, is the possibility that Kody may suffer emotional harm as a result of his celebrity and the slings and arrows. Although he should accept responsibility for his actions, he has a lot to deal with. He may now feel as though he is still on the periphery while he copes with the uncertainty surrounding Coyote. Past his future, Robyn has claimed that, although he is difficult to live with, he is coping with a potentially overwhelming sadness he might suppress. Some of that suffering people may be acting on him, and without realizing how much it hurts. Perhaps he believes that achieving actual happiness is too difficult. Janelle is also currently working on her recovery. These organic responses to loss are quite relatable. But like a gleaming city in the horizon, there is always hope. Imagine Kody driving by himself, following the white lines on the road to a new location that is brimming with potential light and pulsating energy. Kody should reconcile with his ex-partners. He must pardon them. Kody should quit dwelling on their arguments, the taunts that haunt him, and pull him back in time. He can discover new dreams if he makes it to that luminous city where everything seems fresh. He will emit the kind of energy that people react to when he lets the light in. He will demonstrate to the world that he is content with what he has left. We all experience victimization occasionally, but we must resist it. by knocking off those who are attempting to bring us down. The boundaries that Kody has put up will come down when he lets his heart open, allowing others to see him for who he truly is, a guy with emotions, a man who needs love and provides love. Fans will subsequently be able to learn more about Kody's true identity this week. Sister Wives star Christine Brown Lee is grieving the loss of a cherished family member with the publication of her memoir. This fall, the reality star has a lot to celebrate this year. She is, however, currently taking some time to think things through and openly express her anniversary of Garrison Brown's passing. Christine Brown pays tribute to him. The first anniversary of Garrison Brown's passing is March 5th, 2025. No amount of time will ever fully ease the anguish. Even though his family and friends have pleasant memories of him, many members of the Brown family prefer to grieve in private and maintain lower profiles, not posting memorials in public to honor Garrison. Christine Brown. They decided to create an Instagram post. Christine posted on the forum, "I discovered a video of Garrison assisting me with moving and watched it countless times. Every picture, video, memory, joke, and story that features him is infinitely more precious than ever, and my heart hurts without him. I really do miss him. It's unbelievable to me that he passed away a year ago. #heartbroken. Sad stay. #missing him. #so hard to say goodbye." The TLC personality included multiple pictures of Garrison Brown interacting with family members in a joyful manner. She even attached a wedding photo of Garrison and David Woolley. Garrison and Truly, who obviously shared a unique affinity, were featured in several pictures. A lot of sister wives viewers feel sorry for the family. To keep the discussion respectful and on Garrison's topic, Christine chose to disable the comments. Many viewers started blaming different family members, especially Kody and Robyn, after his death. Sister wives are paused by TLC to give the family time to grieve peacefully. Fans of Sister Wives are aware that TLC is presently taking a break from season 19 this spring. Further episodes, including the much-awaited Tell All, will be available on the network, although TLC never provided an official explanation for the hiatus. Many fans think the network decided to give the family time to grieve peacefully in the weeks leading up to March 5th, even without all of the drama and mayhem on film. The Brown family has undoubtedly been going through a tough moment. Even though I have a hectic life, you are always at the forefront of my mind in any quiet moment, baby. It's been a year. We really do miss you." In her own Instagram post, Janelle paid tribute to her son by writing, "I miss you so much." Fans showered Janelle's article with condolences and well wishes in the comment section. They pinned, "I pray that today is filled with family and love for you. Though tears may fall, I hope they are accompanied with joy and amazing memories. Redart, I'm thinking of you." Janelle Brown. 117. Janelle, "I can't fathom the suffering your family is through. Love. I hope the best for you on this tragic day. You have my deepest, warmest, and longest embraces. This made me start crying right away. I'm sending more peace and love your way today." Redart continue to follow TV shows Ace Online for the most recent Sister Wives news and updates. For additional details on the forthcoming season 19 episodes, check back soon. Few people are more aware of the costs associated with being in the spotlight than Kody Brown. He used to be the head of a prosperous, numerous family, but now everything has changed over the years. His reputation has been tarnished, his connections have deteriorated, and his household has fallen apart. He is viewed by others as a villain who destroyed what should have been a secure and caring home because of his ego and partiality. Others sense that beyond the bluster and obstinacy, he is a guy battling pain, loss, and an identity crisis that nobody seems to want to talk about. Kody's journey has been full of successes and setbacks, vulnerable and strong times and decisions that have brought him both happiness and regret. Millions of people have examined his role as a husband and parent, but very few have ever thought about what it must be like to live under such scrutiny. He is now in unfamiliar ground. After experiencing the most agonizing loss a parent can experience and heartbreaking family separations, even if he has changed, the world still defines him by his previous transgressions. Is it true, or has Kody Brown's experience been simplified to a single-sided account that fails to acknowledge the depth of his feelings, his challenges, and his viewpoint? This is a glimpse into Kody's real life, which is much more complex than what viewers see on film. A family in disarray, and the weight of criticism. Kody probably had no idea what he was getting himself into when he joined the reality TV scene. He wanted to communicate the pleasures and difficulties of a lifestyle that is still misinterpreted, as well as the dynamics of plural marriage. He was revealing his heart, his family, and his most intimate moments to the court of public opinion. He wasn't merely opening his doors to an audience that looked doable. At first, the family seemed cohesive. Their hardships were commonplace, and their affection for one another was clear, but over time fissures appeared. Minor arguments escalated into significant disputes, and the peace that formerly characterized their home. Not only did Kody's relationship with his wives deteriorate, but he also lost contact with his kids. He encountered more opposition the more he attempted to exercise control. His decisions were contested, his authority was called into doubt, and soon he found himself observing his family go. Being the first to depart, Christine made it apparent that she no longer felt appreciated in the marriage. The family was rocked by her leaving, but it was just the beginning. Soon after, Janelle decided to forego a relationship that no longer fulfilled her in favor of freedom. Lastly, the wife who had spent the most time with Kody, Mary, also left the man who used to take great satisfaction in running a big interconnected family. Suddenly has just one wife, Robyn. Even though he loved her unconditionally, he couldn't deny the truth of his circumstances. In addition to losing spouses, he had also lost the sense of cohesion that had previously characterized his life, and yet he was greeted with mockery rather than compassion or understanding. Supporters accused him of being the mastermind behind his own demise, blaming Robyn's favoritism for the breakdown. They charged him of selfishness, conceit, and carelessness. However, did anyone ever pause to inquire about his coping mechanisms? The heavy toll of public scrutiny. It's not for the weak of heart to live under the scrutiny of reality TV. Every statement made by Kody is analyzed. Every choice is questioned, and every feeling is written off as manipulation. He is portrayed as a bad guy who won't accept responsibility. However, what if the reality is more nuanced? What if he has been attempting to manage the demands of a large family for years only to discover that he will always be viewed negatively by others? What if he is mourning the end of his relationships, but is unsure of how to communicate it without drawing derision? What if beyond the bluster, he is a man who is entirely alone? Kody is not alone in his problems. Many men, particularly those in leadership roles, are caught in a vicious cycle of judgment and expectation. They are supposed to be resilient, robust, and unflinching in the face of difficulty. However, they are mocked rather than encouraged when they falter, display emotion, or acknowledge discomfort. Kody is no different. The world doesn't accept the fact that he is in pain. Rather, he is informed that his loneliness, anguish, and remorse are all the results of his own choices, and that he deserves everything that has happened to him. But is that really fair? Attempting to move on while dealing with loss, even though Kody's family's dissolution was a terrible blow, nothing could have prepared him for the catastrophe that would transpire. It all changed when he lost his son, a promising Young man, no parent is ever really prepared to say goodbye, even though a gulf had already developed between Kody and his son in the years preceding the catastrophe nobody should have to endure. The anguish of knowing that there will never be reconciliation, and that unheard words will always remain that way, however, even after experiencing such a severe loss. Kody saw more criticism than sympathy. His sadness was questioned. He was accused of exploiting the tragedy to gain sympathy, as though there were a proper way to grieve the loss of a kid. They closely examined his answer. As a matter of fact, sadness is unpredictable. It can show up in a variety of ways, and it can be particularly difficult for someone like Kody to deal with after years of attempt to keep up a facade of strength. Is his outburst a result of his anger toward himself? Does he withdraw within himself because he finds it difficult to communicate his grief? Does he find it difficult to express his suffering because he worries that people would still find a way to make fun of him even when he is at his lowest? There are no simple solutions. There is just the irrefutable truth that he is grieving, that he has lost more than anyone should have to bear, and that his pain is real, even if no one wants to accept it. Isolation or redemption on the way ahead from here. Whether does Kody go? Is he able to restore the broken relationships? Is it possible for him to reinterpret his role in his family? Can he find contentment in a society that will only consider him a villain? Time will tell. However, he is undoubtedly at a turning point in his life. He has two options. He may keep fighting the tide and argue that he is misinterpreted, or he can stand back and consider what has brought him to this position. He has an opportunity to recover, re-establish contact, and develop honesty, vulnerability, and a readiness to take ownership of his future decisions, as well as his past transgressions, will be necessary for that journey. Perhaps he can be saved if he can do that, if he can swallow his pride and listen to those who used to love him. However, the path ahead will only result in more isolation if he keeps viewing himself as a VI victim and refuses to accept his pardon. The rifts that have developed, he has the option, and he has to walk that journey by himself for the first time in a long time. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Get more updates daily. See you soon.